Democratic lawmakers will likely present a new article of impeachment charging Trump with inciting the mob that stormed the U.S. Capitol last week. 5 people died, including a police officer. The violence sparked widespread backlash from both Democrats and Republicans and led several social media sites to ban Trump, including his favorite, Twitter. Authorities have now arrested dozens of people and promised security will be tight for the inauguration in 2 weeks. Trump says he will not attend, but his vice president, Mike Pence, will. So for more on this story, we're now joined live by our correspondent, Giles Gibson, who's standing by for us in Washington. So Giles, Democrats are planning to introduce impeachment articles as early as Monday. Talk to us about what we can expect.
Yeah, Jonathan, we're expecting just one article of impeachment, which is effectively the charge that's being brought against US President Donald Trump. We're expecting that to read incitement of insurrection. That, of course, refers to the speech that US President Donald Trump gave right in front of the White House before his supporters marched down Pennsylvania Avenue and surged into the very heart of the US Capitol on Wednesday. We actually understand that 2 Democratic congressmen actually started drafting this article of impeachment as the mob was inside the Capitol building and they were sheltering in place. This article of impeachment is expected to pass pretty easily in the House of Representatives because, of course, it's controlled by the Democrats, and we could even see a handful of Republicans breaking from their party and voting in favor of impeaching President Trump as well. When we get to the Senate, that's when things get much more complicated because there just doesn't seem to be enough time or enough political support in the Senate to remove President Trump from office before we get to the 20th of January and Joe Biden's inauguration.
And Giles, many are reeling still from that rampage we saw on Capitol Hill a few days ago. So what are authorities doing to make sure that the inauguration on that same site will be secure?
Well, the Biden team seem to feel that it's very important that their man, Joe Biden, is sworn in on the steps of the U.S. Capitol, as we're so used to seeing that happen. They've talked about how it will mark a new day for the American people. But of course, doing that means that you have to bring in a whole new list of security measures that you wouldn't normally have in place for an inauguration. They're going to have a 7-foot tall fence actually that's already been built around the Capitol building itself. We're in a state of emergency here in Washington, D.C., at least until the inauguration is over. There have been thousands of National Guard troops brought into the city to really just beef up security generally. And normally you would have around 200,000 people cramming into the National Mall to watch the new president being sworn in. This year it's going to look very different. We're expecting drastically reduced numbers. We could just see maybe a few thousand people allowed into the Capitol building and within sort of a close distance of US President-elect Joe Biden as he becomes the President of the United States.
Everything scaled down as tensions reach an all-time high. Okay, Giles Gibson live for us there in Washington. Thank you.